Hi guys, today I want to do a discussion video about how my reading has changed. My camera battery is flashing at me, so I want to try and keep this short and sweet, but basically I've just noticed something different about how I'm reading recently in the past couple of months or so, and I thought it'd be interesting to talk about it. We all have our reading habits and certain ways we like to do things, certain genres that we like, the ways we read, where we read, how we like to read, and people don't really talk about how these can change as your circumstances change and like you grow older and stuff. I've always been such an advocate for reading one book at a time. I've never understood people that read multiple books at a time, because I've always been like, if I'm reading lots at once, I'm just spreading myself and not really concentrating on any one book in particular, and it means it takes me forever to read one thing. I just want to focus on one thing at a time. But that has really changed, and that's partly because my life circumstances have changed. I suppose this could be a little bit of a life update. If you didn't already know, I've got a full-time job now as a junior marketing assistant at a company called Cloud Call in Leicester. I don't live in Leicester, but my boyfriend does, so to cut down my commute time, I'm living at his half the week, half the time at home, and obviously I've got now a train journey nearly every day and I'm commuting. And that's affected how I read quite a lot, because I was reading a book called Night Film, really big, and the handbag I like to take to work, it doesn't really fit a massive book in it, because it means I've got a heavy shoulder all day, and it just takes away room for things like my lunch. So I was like, oh, guess I'll just read something else that's a bit smaller then. So I picked up Eat, Sweat, Play, which is 200 pages, because that fit in my handbag a lot nicer. So that meant I was reading 2 books at once, because I was like, oh, I'm reading Night Film, but Eat, Sweat, Play can be like my commuting book. But then I was also reading The Illustrated Chamber of Secrets, which, as you can imagine, you can't really carry around with you very much. So I wasn't going to take it to and from Leicester and to and from Robins to read it. I also can't read it in the bath and that sort of thing, so I was only reading that book in bed when I was at home. So that was already 3 books. And then I wanted an audiobook when I'm getting ready in the morning. I'm doing my hair and doing my lunch, and I was like, I want an audiobook to listen to so I can still be reading. So then I picked up the Queen of Shadows audiobook. Then that's 4 books all on the go at the same time, which is unheard of for me really, but it has been something I've been doing more and more as I've been travelling to and from Robins. I'll not want to take a big book with me, so I'll read something else, or I'll always have an audiobook on the go as well as a normal book if I don't have a book on physically and the audiobook. So yeah, I've definitely found I've just been reading in a lot of new ways, and it hasn't done what I've expected. It doesn't matter how long it's taken me to read these books, I've continued to enjoy them, and it doesn't matter that I've really dipped in and out of them. You know, I went 2 weeks without even touching the illustrated Harry Potter and it was fine, and Night Film I feel a little bit out of, but I just dipped straight back into it really easily. And obviously my commuter book I'm only reading for max half an hour, 40 minutes a day, when I'm on my longer train that's about 20 minutes, and that's only assuming I'm going to and from work from home rather than from Robin's house. So yeah, I'm just reading in a lot of different ways, and I've found that it's kind of helping, because I'm always finding a way to read despite my circumstance. So it's not that I'm spreading myself and only reading certain books for certain occasions. It's more a case of it's just whatever fits the situation. I don't want to take a massive book to and from work. I don't read much at Robins. Audiobooks are great in the morning. Don't want to read the illustrated Harry Potter in the bath because it's too heavy and I don't want to get it wet. So yeah, I've been reading in a lot of different ways, and I just thought this was kind of interesting to talk about, because I'd love to know if you have changed how you're reading depending on your situation, and if your habits have changed. I know at university as well my habits changed, because I was reading a lot less because I only had to read certain things for uni, and I didn't like reading more than one thing at a time, so that was kind of difficult. It's kind of been finishing uni has given me this freedom to feel like I can read so many different things, because I'm not tied down to having to read anything. So if I'm kind of not enjoying something, I can just sort of come back to it, kind of like I would at uni with a uni book that I had to read. So yeah, that's kind of it for this discussion video. It's kind of short and sweet, but I just thought it'd be interesting to see if you guys have had a change in reading habits, especially if any of you have gone from being a student to having full-time work. That really changes how you read and when you read, or at least it did for me. So yeah, I'd love to know down below if you read multiple books at once and how you find that, and how you balance the stories in your head. Do you get confused? Because I'm finding it pretty fine to dip in and out of lots of different books. I don't ideally want 4 on the go, 2 or maybe 3 is a little bit better, but yeah, 4 happened and it was actually fine. So I think I'm going to kind of carry on with this, because it means I can read depending on my mood, where I'm at, what I'm interested in, and it's been working for me so far. So let me know down below your thoughts on this topic, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!